Look, everybody builds websites, right? Okay, maybe not everybody, but they're a dime a dozen. And at the same time, nobody builds them, or at least nobody can deliver on what you need. Let me ask you a question. Do you have a website and it just sits there? Do you have like a contact us button and nobody uses it? Or when they do, it's just some spammer selling SEO? Do you even get traffic to it? And if you do have people visiting it, is it even working? Do you even know that it works? Here's the thing, okay? Like for the dream website, right? What does that even mean? Well, let me tell you, okay? It's one that feeds into your sales process. It's authored with trust building language that your customers use so that they feel like you are speaking to their heads and reading their minds when they're reading your content. And it meets your goals, your sales goals. That's what it is. That's what you need. It has research backed copy and design, and it has an embedded sales mechanism that guides your prospects to buy from you, to sign up, to book a call, to do a meet, whatever the call to action is. That's what it does. My name is Chevis Balloon, and I founded Artifact in 2014. I help businesses develop their brand and their sales process, and the website should be central to that process. It needs to be an asset that builds trust in prospects' minds, that provides a clear path for them to buy, and that shows them that what they're looking for is exactly what you do, so that they're ready to buy before they even talk to you. With all that said, let me actually show you what this looks like. You're going to get a website that feeds into your sales process, that's authored with trust building language that your customers already use so that you can meet your sales goals exactly as you mean to. This is done with research backed persuasive copy, design, and an embedded sales mechanism that guides those prospects to the right decision, to your call to action so that they buy. Let me show you a few of my clients, okay? Here's Lori with Kirby Bates. The more I interact with other vendors, the more I love Artifact. They're responsive, none of the gobbledygook, okay? Here's Jacob with Pop Acta. Your stuff is gold, first time, every time. And then Travis Tidwell at Form.io. You ran circles around the last person that tried to help us despite their experience working at Google. Here are a few other things that my clients have said.
What your team was able to do was break down what our product is into smaller bites and make it more tangible for people to understand, explaining it in a way that people could consume it. You know, when you redid our website with your copy and language, having a prospect tell us that emotionally hit them and they agreed with what was being said, we had never had that before. In person, speaking to somebody, we would sometimes get that, but we had never had that through anything we'd ever written before. So you being able to take our extremely complicated product and simplify it down to where people can slowly digest it was remarkable.
I am cynical and nihilistic, almost fatalistic about marketing. Like I just think it's a make work function for people that are good drawing pictures and coming up with words. So getting you involved and seeing you just create output that we're using right away to get results and to start talking to people that we otherwise wouldn't be talking to and sign up customers that we otherwise wouldn't be signing up has been amazing.
Here's what's covered in the document, okay? Who is this for? A little bit more background about me and Artifact, why it's important to go through this, how our approach is different for building websites than other approaches that you might be familiar with. What are the prerequisites for working with us? What do you get? What should you expect going through the process? And some frequently asked questions and a few final words I'll have for you. Okay, so who is this for? You are a service, product, or SaaS company that can answer yes to any of the following questions. Are you struggling with your messaging on your website, in your collateral, and or in your sales process? Is your offer sophisticated, complex, or difficult to explain? Do you have a proven, valuable product that you have paying customers for that love what you do but are struggling to find more of them? Are the leads that do contact you, schedule a call, or book a demo falling short of your expectations? Have you spent time or money developing ideal customer profiles but feel like they didn't make a difference? Do you struggle to differentiate yourself from your competition? Does the design and presentation of your current website feel lacking? And does it not reflect the quality of the service, product, or experience that you provide? And lastly, does your current website load slow Is it not optimized for organic traffic? Does it lack security or stability? Is it difficult to navigate? Is there any kind of clunkiness to it? A little bit more about me and about Artifact. Founded in 2014, as I mentioned before, I've spent 17 years building websites, developing marketing content, designing products, brands, providing UI UX consulting for B2B SaaS companies, services, and products. I've developed over 100 internal properties for Microsoft for various groups and drove engagement globally. Okay? I've designed, written, and branded one funnel that booked $4.6 million in 6 months. And my work was a primary factor in helping another client raise $1.4 million in seed funding. Okay? I've helped clients boost their engagement 2-3 times and even more. And I've built hundreds of websites that just work, from loading fast, delivering a clean and beautiful experience, into converting visitors into buyers. Why is it important to go through this? Okay. We've spent years developing and honing our system for building websites specifically for B2B businesses, and we've cracked the code for how to write content for your audience on repeat so they buy what you have. This outline is going to explain how our process is different, exactly what you get, what the process looks like, and what we need from you to give you the best results. Here's what another client said. I'd never seen such a scientific approach to marketing and communication. The fact that you provided context to what you delivered helped frame the decisions you made, and that was excellent. That was Albert Reda from Midway Plus. Okay? All right, how is our approach to building websites different from other approaches? Okay? There's 3 primary ways that we do things different. Number 1 is how we author marketing and sales content so that it converts. Number 2 is how we host so that your website is fast, secure, and stable. And number 3 is how we design and build to get exactly what you want without being stuck with excessive opinionation, which I'll explain in a little bit. Okay. Number 1, how we author marketing and sales content that converts. Okay. Most marketers are going to tell you to run with ideal customer profiles or ICPs or personas, right? You've probably heard these things. These are the best guesses, based on maybe some existing customers for what the common traits are across your buyers, right? And so it's like a cross section of past buyers, and they, industry, company size, location, the age of the company, their pricing, number of their customers. Okay, you might get into the actual personas of like how old is the buyer and what's their what is their role and what's their title and where do they live and what car do they drive and all that kind of stuff. And that information is good and it can be helpful, but it doesn't account for 2 important things. Okay, number 1, other potential personas that could be or would be in your ideal audience that you don't know about because they didn't fit your initial ideal customer profile, okay, or your cross-section of past buyers. Number 2 is how they actually communicate, the language that they use in their own words. That is an important piece of information to get, okay? So how do you get it? Well, what's our approach? We focus on what is called jobs to be done theory. Okay, this is first popularized by a guy named Anthony Olwick in the 1990s. Jobs to be done, or JTBD, answer the most fundamental questions about what jobs your audience need done. Jobs to be done is outcome-centric language analysis. Okay, famously, Harvard Business School professor Theodore Levitt said, "People don't want to buy a 1/4-inch drill; they want a 1/4-inch hole." Okay, so to be extra clear, personas can be helpful, but most marketers aren't considering the jobs to be done that undergird the attributes of the personas. So what exactly are JTBD? Okay, I covered that below, so we're going to keep going. Number 2 is how we host so that your website is fast, secure, and stable. Okay, so I could go into more details, but I'm just going to cover this pretty quickly, high level. Okay, websites run on Google Cloud's premier tier network with the fastest C2 virtual machines for maximum performance. Okay, automatic daily backups for 20 days, edge caching to speed things up, built-in DDoS protection with Cloudflare, automatic SSL certificates, media is hosted on a content delivery network, application monitoring is built in, so you don't need equivalent plugins, or site is monitored up to 720 times per day, guaranteed 99.99% uptime in most cases, unless you're doing a crazy ton of API calls, then there's some things that we'll need to do, okay? And improved malware mitigation, hardware firewall, and active and passive security, okay? But if anything ever does get compromised, we're going to fix it for free, right? Number 3, how we design and build so that you get exactly what you want without excessive opinionation, okay? Opinionation within software, websites, design, etc., are the decisions that are made that are difficult or impossible to change, Okay, opinionation is unavoidable, and many opinionated decisions will never matter, but some of them will. And when it becomes apparent that a change is needed, it can be very painful or costly to undo. Okay, so let me give you an example. If a website is built on the content management system Drupal, okay, it's kind of old and it's dying out. Okay, it's a very opinionated choice, and you discover it doesn't fit your needs well. Okay, migrating to a different CMS is going to require excessive time and money. Okay, if you can even find a developer that'll specialize in Drupal. All right, so the only time you're ever going to get a Drupal website is when you find some developer who's like, I only work in Drupal, and not a great choice. Okay, it's just super niche, super narrow. Another example would be building a website using any of the other popular website builders, okay, such as Webflow, Wix, Squarespace, all that kind of stuff. And they can be helpful for businesses that are just getting off the ground. So if that's you, you actually maybe want to close this video and go over there, okay, if you're just getting started, okay? Because they provide a solution that's fast, does not require a lot of technical know-how, and you don't have to know coding or anything like that, and you can just like drag and drop some stuff and be ready to go. But when a business grows, there's a certain amount of sophistication that's going to come along with that growth. And that sophistication needs to have a web developer being able to support it. All right, so what is our approach? There's one part of our approach that's not unique, which is a good thing in this case, and that's because we build on WordPress, which is the industry standard platform that powers over 40% of the internet. The number of developers who are available to work on WordPress is much higher than any other platform, so you're never going to be stuck with anything obscure that nobody knows how to use. However, a warning though, many WordPress experts are not actual developers. Okay, they don't know any code or very little. Therefore, they're not going to have the expertise to decide, to be able to discern when to use a plugin for something substantial versus when it just needs a small snippet of code to get a simple job to be done. Okay, the result is often these Frankenstein websites that have 50, I've seen over 100 plugins on one website, which cause the website to load at a snail's pace climbing up a pole. Okay. They also can't build anything custom, and instead they rely on pre-built opinionated templates, opinionated page builders inside of WordPress, and they can create headaches down the road whenever you want to move this over here or do something custom. Okay. Therefore, at Artifact, we don't use templates or themes that are out there. Instead, we build a custom theme just for you with a design that reflects your brand. It's exactly how you want it. Everything can be changed, can be touched, can be customized. It allows us to make any layout, any element, any experience, integrate with any platform or service, and deliver to you your one-of-a-kind, unique website. Okay, prerequisites. So first, you actually want a custom website tailored to your visitors, your prospects, and you're not somebody who just needs to be involved in the day-to-day moving things around. If you're the type of person that has to get in there and be like, I'm going to move this over here and move this over there and do all that, and you need to do that yourself, then this is probably not right for you, okay? This is going to be written in code, and it's going to be, again, the least opinionated, so it's lean, right? If you need a page builder and stuff that you can drag and drop and move it around, then you're going to need a different solution. All right, if you're B2B, you're a B2B product company that generally sells to enterprises or large businesses. Now, depending on your product, this can work for smaller businesses or firms that also, as long as they require a sales call or a demo. That's going to mean your price points are higher. Other thing, part of our system involves interviewing your customers. Therefore, you need to be willing to let us interview them, and we usually do about 3. Or at minimum, you will interview your customers using our question grid. But it works better if we do it, and you can be there if you want. You have paying customers already. If you don't, then you need to be funded, okay? And we have an alternative approach that we take on a case-by-case basis. All right, if you're B2C, you have a proven info or SaaS product with existing paying customers. If you don't, then you need to be a funded startup, and we have an alternative approach, again, that we can consider on a case-by-case basis. It's best if you have some survey data or review data from your paying customers, but it's not 100% required, okay? All right, so what do you get? Okay, obviously you get the custom business website that converts. It's your on-brand, unique, one-of-a-kind website that qualifies visitors into leads and converts them into buyers. Typical website may include some of the following things. Okay, primary landing page with an embedded sales mechanism that is the conversion tool. Okay, you might have additional landing pages for additional offers. We're going to do illustrations or screenshots or photography based on kind of what it is that, if it's needed, right? We'll do a features page if applicable, if you have a product. Okay. We will include unique illustrations if you don't have them, or we'll create screen captured featurettes, so it's like the animated GIF style and/or screenshots. It just depends on what your product is and how it works. Okay. But these are things that we typically do. An about page, which communicates your company values, but also it actually can operate as a conversion tool. So we write some copy there as well. Contact page with a form that can notify your stakeholders via email. It can go into CRMs. Some CRMs are like super easy to set up. Some will require some custom code. We build the blog out, and this allows non-technical people to author content. The SEO checklist, actually the Launchpad, which I'll talk about below, includes a step-by-step guide for how anybody that's non-technical can put together a blog post or a page so that it's done in a way that has SEO built in that attracts organic traffic. Okay. We will build out any custom posts. So like, you can make a new blog post, but you can also do new posts like a new case study post or a new partner page post or a job posting. We will code those out as needed as well. And then any standard page layouts, and then all the normal things like navigation, footer content, and anything else that's necessary. So that's the typical thing, right? Almost anything's possible, but those are the typical things that happen in a website. All right, but it's not just a website, okay? You're going to get the following things that help you on your journey as well, okay? So number one, we're going to show you a site speed analysis report. How fast was your site before versus how it is now? The SEO Launchpad. We're going to show you everything we did to make sure your customers can find you and how to make sure they will continue to find you. That's that checklist. That's that step-by-step guide for how to produce content that's SEO ready. We will develop branding guidelines if needed. Just depends on where you are with your brand. But we do the visual development of brand as well as some other things as well within branding. Your product description language guide. So this will systematize the way you talk about your product so that you own your product. You own your own product in the public's eye. So it's just a way of this is the guide for how to speak. Okay? Lead generation guide. We're going to give you a written goal-based strategy guide for how you will continue to grow your company. Okay? Just depends on what your product or offer or service is. We have different recommendations. All right, and then here's some of the core piece. Is your jobs to be done lexicon. This is the specific coveted outcomes your customers most desire from your product or your service. Okay? They fall into 5 categories: functional jobs, emotional jobs, financial jobs, supply chain jobs, like how the product's delivered, and social jobs, okay, how the broader market perceives your product. Okay? Why are they important? Why are JTBD important? I talked about this earlier. However, when you know the JTBD your customers want and the ones that your competitors are targeting, you can answer fundamental questions like, what do your customers want? What do they not want? What objections do they already have? What are they already being promised? What language and phrases do they use, which is a cool one? What have they tried before? What do they believe in? What expectations do they have? What are the reasons they're buying? And what works versus what doesn't, okay? So by knowing your customer's JTBD and being able to answer these questions, you will be able to produce additional messaging beyond what we make for you and marketing content, okay? That's already on the website or anything else that we produce for you, that speak directly to their most fundamental, their foundational needs, so they buy from you. Okay. We will also produce a website design and copy release summary. This is the intent behind the design and copy decisions that we made. Okay. We're going to show you what we did in that document. All right, artifact hosting. Okay. Hosting that never lets prospects down. In addition to all the security and performance things I mentioned earlier, you get website maintenance and updates included, text and link content changes or additions that you provide just included within reason. That's up to our discretion, but we'll do most anything within reason. Image content changes or switch outs, no problem. Same thing there. Reorder sections at your request, unless you're doing it like, every single day. That's, again, within reason. Any color changes, basically anything that's minor within reason, we'll manage at no extra cost. All right. But that's, again, within our discretion. You'll also be given access to make changes yourself if you prefer. Video content needs to be hosted on a video platform, just FYI. Okay, so YouTube, Vimeo, Loom, something like that. Turnaround time for minor requests that are included within hosting are usually a day or two. Okay, don't guarantee that, but that's usually how it works. Okay, you can go look at some of our work there, by the way. All right, so here's a few things that some of another client said. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. All right, Chevis, you win. These are the absolute best, most comprehensive, substantive, yet concise assets I have ever gotten to date. Thank you for streamlining my job and being an efficiency machine. Okay. Yeah, we like it. Okay. Then he says, but the work is fire, though. Agreed. Straight fire, Chevis. Thank you. All right, so these are some of the additional feedback that I get from my clients. Number 7, what should you expect through the process? Okay. Number 1, discovery call. If you book a call with us, we're going to ask you a series of questions to determine if we can help you and if we'd be a good fit for each other. You're going to also have the opportunity to ask us questions to help you with your decision. During the call, we'll provide you with the investment sheet, and then we can determine next steps. Okay? If we proceed, go to kickoff. That's when payment is made, audience discovery call is scheduled, and start date is chosen. Okay? We're going to send you an invoice via email, and it must be paid for us to begin. We're going to schedule this 1-hour call. It's recorded, and we're going to ask you 16 to 20 questions about your business, target audience, your ideal customer, and everything you know about them right now. This establishes a baseline understanding for our market research. If you would like one other person on your team to join who can help answer questions about these topics, we welcome that. But we ask you limit it to only 2 people total from your organization. Okay? If more than 2 people join, we find the call takes too long, we lose efficiency. If you're a high-volume B2C business, we will instead use our sources to obtain review data, and if you have survey data, we're going to request that. The start date is the first business day after payment is received, and the audience discovery call is completed. That's when the start date begins. All right. We're going to send you a list of assets that we would like to review in order to, this is for our research as we develop our copy, okay? Who your competitors are, your current messaging and marketing efforts, how you speak about your company and your brand. There's a whole list, and it's linked in here, which we can send to you if you want this link to this document. All right, client onboarding. Number 2, client onboarding, market research, and environment setup. This usually takes about 2 weeks, okay? We complete the client questionnaire. You will complete the client questionnaire that provides us with basic information for what we need to build your website. Requested assets for the website and assets that assist us in market research. What things are important to you that should be on the website, design inspiration you like, company information, etc., all that kind of stuff. We will then conduct our qualitative research. This is why it takes 2 weeks. We do a whole bunch of qualitative research during this time. You should expect this period to be mostly quiet. However, we will provide you with at least one update during the first week of our progress, all right, after the start date. If applicable, we're going to schedule interviews with your customers, okay, and aim, this is especially for B2B, and aim to complete them within that 2-week period. But again, it's up to kind of them, so as schedules allow. So if we can complete them in the 2 weeks period, we will do this best we can, okay? During the second week, or when we know that the interviews are wrapping up, we're going to reach out to you to schedule a 1-hour call for and that's on the following week, to review our findings and the questionnaire you completed. If customer interviews require additional time, again, that might take a little bit longer, okay? Then we move into the copywriting and build process, 2 to 3 weeks. We first write the copy of the primary landing page. Again, that's that embedded conversion tool. We write it, we get it written, okay? Follows a mechanism. We have many mechanisms that we use, and depending on what your offer is, we will pick one. The layout and visual assets that display on the primary landing page, those are all created as well. Any brand development that's needed, we do that. Construction of the on-brand website, all the elements, pages, navigation, all that's built, okay? Authorship of the documents that I listed above that you get in addition to the website, okay? Number 4, the pre-launch review call. Before the call, we're going to deliver the written assets listed above, okay, and a link to a staging environment of your new website. On the call, we're going to discuss any SEO performance hits that might be applicable, okay, as you move to a new website. And we're going to discuss what we've done to minimize that, including with the redirects that we set up, server caching, site load speed, things like that. We will decide with you, you will decide on a go live date. We're going to schedule a meeting with anybody, the administrator, whoever the person is that manages your domain, or whoever has access to your domain, they're going to give us access, okay? We can do it either way. It's up to you. And before the go live date, the redirects will be implemented as needed. Then number 5 is the launch. The website is migrated to the production environment. The domain is pointed to the new environment. We do that in the evening. And the website is monitored closely for the next 48 hours to catch anything that might need attention. All right. Frequently asked questions. How much does it cost? We will share the investment sheet with you on the discovery call if both parties believe we're a good fit for each other. How long does the process take? The entire process can be as little as 2 weeks, but can be upwards of 6 to 8. It just depends on the scope of what you need, okay? Often it's about 4. Usually it's about 4, but it can be, within that range. I just need a quick website. Can you do it? No, okay? We recommend using a website builder or some other contractor. We work with growing and established businesses who need high converting website with research-backed copy and design that's integrated within your sales process. That's what we do, okay? Do you build websites in Webflow or some other platform? No. If you need your website built in a different platform, you're going to have to work with somebody else. Do you work with startups? Yes, if you're funded, okay? We do not work for equity as a primary method of compensation. You're the funder, you're paying your cash flow positive, right? But we do not take equity as primary compensation. All right, do you handle migrations? Yes, on a case-by-case basis. And pricing is scoped completely separately from the investment sheet, okay? We have migrated from various hosts and environments, including Drupal to WordPress, but that is expensive. But yes, we do handle them just fine. I've done my own market research. Is it necessary that you do your own? Most of the time, yes, okay? We have spent years honing our market research system, and it is what enables us to produce effective, persuasive copy, okay? So, and like that 1%, if you have like a jobs to be done approach, maybe. So, but our process, it helps us develop the product description language guide, the lead gen guide, the JDB lexicon, the release summary, okay? Like we have this system down, so we usually need to do it. Okay, what other services do you provide? UI, UX, design, in code, okay? We actually develop products. Brand and identity creation and development, we do that. Content marketing as well, okay? A few final words. Not having your website function as a business asset that converts traffic is going to leave you falling behind your competition. At a certain point of business growth, not having a clean, elegant, and well-designed experience is going to cause users to bounce and go somewhere else. Not having a clear list of jobs to be done in the language your future customers use will keep you second-guessing about what you should say in your marketing, in your sales, in your collateral, or worse, you'll just be wasting time and money taking shots in the dark. If your marketing feels like dead weight, give it some fuel to make a difference before it costs you more. If you're not getting the results you hoped for or expected, you need to take action now. So get a website that feeds into your sales process, authored with trust-building, persuasive language that your customers use so that you can meet your sales goals exactly as you mean to. And if you'd like our help, you can reach out to me, Shevis, at agentartifact.com to get started. Thank you for watching.